Welcome back to the Recycling for the Environment series. Today we're exploring a new idea: transforming old and used chargers into a component of a homemade antenna. This isn't just about making use of discarded items, it's also a way to cut down on electronic waste and create something useful with what's already in our hands. If you care about protecting the environment through small but meaningful actions, let's dive in together and see how this experiment unfolds. The circuit board is the most important part of a charger, the device's brain. Reusing it helps cut waste while turning old parts into something practical. A bit later, we'll solder the wires onto these 2 points to complete the connection. You make sure to remember these 2 points because this will be very important for the next step. I'm using a basic soldering technique here with the help of a soldering stick. It's a simple but useful step, and you can take note of it to learn from this point. In this step, I'll connect the 2 wire ends from the 2 pieces directly onto those points on the circuit board. If you're a beginner, don't jump straight into the real circuit. You should first practice on something else to get comfortable before starting for real. The next step is working on the charger case. I'll drill one hole on the cover large enough to fit a motorcycle valve stem, and another smaller hole just wide enough for the wire end to pass through. This prepares the outer shell before we move on to final assembly. Here I've got a hollow motorcycle valve stem ready. Now we'll fit it into the charger cover so it becomes an intermediate part. Now we'll put the charger circuit board back in its original position. While doing this, make sure one wire end goes through the hole in the charger cover, and the other passes through the valve stem tube. This way the upcoming connections will stay secure and neatly arranged. The wire coming from the valve stem side will be connected to an antenna rod for signal reception. This step is crucial for the circuit to pick up signals effectively. I'm pretty sure many of you haven't seen this antenna rod before, because it's quite hard to find in today's modern technology era. Fortunately, I managed to get one from an old man living nearby, which made this experiment possible. Once the connection is done, we'll insert the antenna rod directly into the motorcycle valve stem. Make sure all connections are really secure before moving on to the next step. Here I've got an aluminum cup ready. Now we'll drill a hole right in the center of its base, just big enough to fit the motorcycle valve stem. Did you know? Attaching this aluminum cup greatly improves the antenna's signal reception. It acts as a passive amplifier, focusing waves into the antenna rod and circuit, boosting sensitivity and reducing interference. Placement at the center of the cup's base is key. When the valve stem connects exactly at the center, signals go straight into the circuit without scattering. It's amazing how a simple aluminum cup can elevate the device, showing that precision and careful setup determine signal performance. With the remaining wire, we'll connect it to the aluminum cup. Sounds a bit unusual, right? But you don't need to imagine anything complicated, just screw it in and the process becomes really simple. This allows the signal from the antenna rod to pass directly into the cup, completing the connection for the entire device. Looks pretty solid, doesn't it? If you're stuck on any part, leave a comment below so we can discuss and clarify it in more detail. I've already drilled 2 holes in the wooden board. Now we'll attach the charger base there, using it as an antenna stand. This secures the whole setup, providing a stable foundation for the antenna. Now we move on to the next step, creating the cable to connect this device to the TV. Starting with this cable that's missing its phone plug, we'll connect it to the antenna wire. I've drafted a clear plan for this, and I'd really appreciate your feedback if there's anything that needs correcting so everything works as efficiently as possible. I'm pretty sure many viewers here haven't seen this TV antenna wire before. Its structure has 5 main parts: the copper conductor core, the inner foam insulation, the aluminum foil layer, the shielding metal layer, and the outer insulation. To connect it to the cable end, you only need to attach the copper core and the shielding layer to the 2 ends of the charger cable. This is a simple yet effective way to transmit the signal from the antenna to the device. For electrical safety, you should wrap a few layers of insulating tape around the connection after wiring. This prevents short circuits, protects the user, and keeps the connection stable over time. For the other end of the wire, we'll connect the straight F connector to the 90-degree F connector. The purpose of this step is so this end can be plugged directly into the TV, completing the connection between the antenna and the screen. So we've completed the setup. I'm eager to test it right away and see how effectively this homemade antenna picks up signals on the TV. At the moment, since the device hasn't been plugged into the TV, the screen isn't receiving any signal yet. I'm going to plug the cable into the TV now to check the signal. Amazing, the screen is showing the signal. Now let's sit and observe for a while to see how stable it is. This is the most exciting part, watching the results of all the preparation and connections we just made. Alright, I'll go around to the back of the TV to inspect and verify everything I've set up. So, is this credible enough? I hope this tip on recycling a charger into a homemade antenna component gives you some inspiration and useful ideas. I thank you for watching till the end, and I encourage you to try it at home to experience the results yourself. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below to exchange more tips. Every interaction motivates me to keep creating exciting content. Let's make the most of old items, save resources, stay eco-friendly, and most importantly, enjoy the learning process.